Okay, to grab the sky out of this image, I do the same thing. I select the image I want to grab, Control A to select all. There we go. And you'll see the marching ants are on the edge, which means it's selected. I hit Control C to copy it, put it on the clipboard. I go back to my other image here, and layer 1's currently selected. I hit Control V to paste, and it creates another layer with that new image on top. Now, of course, all you're seeing is the new image I pasted with the nice sky in it, because it's completely hidden, or it's completely hiding the other two layers. So I'm going to go back over here and close this original image just to free up memory again. And so now I've got this image with a nice sky. So I could do what I did with the last image and just create a gradient again, like this. Oops, backwards again, like that. The problem is that there's no good way to do a smooth transition. That's not too bad right there, what I just did. But the real problem I've got is I got this jagged edge here with these trees, and I've also got this mountain sticking up. They're not in a straight line exactly. So what I can do, there's a little better way to do this. I'm going to delete this layer mask, and what I want to do is I want to create a mask that's a little bit irregular. So one handy way to do that is to go over my channels palette and look at some of these different channels. And here I've got the blue channel that's just showing all the blue pixels, the brightness of all the blue pixels in the image. So it's showing the brightness of all the green and the brightness of all the red. Now, the blue one in particular can be useful to borrow from, because all the sky is mostly blue. So what I do is I first drag this down to where it says new channel, and I created a copy of the blue, and I can work with that. And I'm going to go up here and do image adjustments, and I'm going to do levels, which is just an easy way to do some image adjustments. So what I'm doing here again is I'm just trying to create a mask that is just going to mask out the sky. So I want the sky to be white and everything else to be black. And so I'm just going to kind of do this adjustments, and I'm not doing any adjustments to the actual image at this point. I'm just trying to get the mask to look good. So as you can see, I'm kind of making the sky whiter and the ground darker by pulling in the edges of this mask. And one issue I've got is that the mountain is not exactly uniform color, but we'll just kind of, if you just are careful enough, you can kind of get it looking to where you want it. Some of those edges of the mountain are going to be a little difficult to deal with. Now you'll notice when I'm doing this, I'm also, the trees, it's not totally white where they are, but that's okay. I'm going to go back and fix that later. So this is about as close as I can get just using the levels tool, and okay with there. Now the next thing you'll notice, if I zoom in here a little bit, and I'm going to zoom in, right where the trees are, the trees down here are all black, but this is white. So what I need to do is paint these things to go to white. And here's a nice little trick you can use to do this. Again, I'm still in this, I'm just painting on this blue copy. I'm not affecting the image at all. So I go to the paintbrush. I've got my paintbrush about the size I want it. And I'm going to switch the mode from normal to overlay mode. And what that does is it'll make, if I have the paint palette on black, it'll make things that are dark go to black, and if I have the paint palette on white, it'll make things that are somewhat white go whiter. So I can put it on white like that, and then paint over these areas, and it'll, as you can see what it does, it just takes the areas that are somewhat light and makes them lighter. And I'm going to go back over to the other side of the image, over here, and do the same kind of thing. So now I've got this mask that's got a really nice irregular shape on it. And I can also go down here and do just the opposite, change to black, and then I can make this blacker. So once I've got some pretty good separation here, and if you hit Control 0, that'll make it fit to the screen. I can switch back to normal mode, switch to white again, and then I can just paint out the rest of these things. So let me just kind of do that really quick. I will paint all those out. And then the last thing I want to do is kind of clean up this mountain. And as you can see, there's a lot of detail here. I'm going to change to black and then paint this stuff in black. This is just where it gets manual. I do a lot of this masking. One really helpful tip that I can give you is to change the P key, the hotkey, to just change the paint brushes from. It does the same thing as this little button does over here. So I'm often changing from black to white, white to black. And that makes it a lot quicker to work with these kinds of images when you're doing masking, because the P key is located right next to where the two bracket keys are, and those increase and decrease the size of the brush. So I'm using those three keys quite a lot. So I'm going to do a really rough job here because I don't want you to be watching this all afternoon, but we'll just say that's good enough. Now, if I was really concerned about this, I would probably do a much more particular job on this. There's some other methods I could do to get that looking just right. But mostly I wanted to get to that overlay method. So hit Control-O to Control-0 to zoom back out. So now I've got this mask that's looking pretty good for the sky. In order to convert this information here to a selection, there's a little button at the bottom of this mask here, which is make it load this channel as a selection. So that's kind of convenient. There we go, like that, and you can see the marching ants around the sky. Now from there, the next thing I want to do is select back to the image. So I'm not selecting this blue copy anymore, I'm selecting the image. And I'm also on layer 2 of the image. So now what I want to do is I want to be able to see just that portion of the sky. So if I hit a layer mask, boom, there you go. That's the image assembled. Now if I look really closely at this, it's a little bit jagged there. That's not really quite the effect that I was looking for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo that and using one more tool, which is the Refine Edge tool. And what the Refine Edge tool does is it allows you to manipulate the edge of a selection to contract or expand the selection. And I think in this case I want to expand it just a little bit. You can use these different icons here to preview what your selection is going to look like. Let's try that, and just play with these settings a little bit. You usually I've got the feather kind of small, the smoothing not too, that doesn't really do that much. The radius just a pixel or two, and you're mostly playing with this contract and expand. So that's going to make it a smaller selection, a smaller part of the skies, make it more of the trees. And I think for this type of image, I want to be down around here. So I'll hit OK. And I'm going to hit the layer mask again. These marching ants will only show anything that's more or less on the 50% side of selected. So when you have a really detailed selection like this, you'll sometimes get this thing. It's just an approximation of what your selection looks like. So I'm going to hit the layer mask button again, and that's a little bit better. Now again, I could probably do a little more work to get that looking exactly how I want, but that gives you the general idea of what it's going to look like. And from a distance, it's starting to look pretty good. Some other things I can do to make that a little bit nicer is to just basically, if I'm in the mask right there and I want to just add to the mask, I can just use the regular paintbrush tool, change my flow way down to like 6%, make the brush very soft, and I want to use white here, and then just kind of paint in a little bit of this, paint in a little bit of the edges on here. So the risk in doing this is you can make the treetops very dark in this kind of image, but it will kind of work, especially when you're blending two images that are of similar look. So like the sky that I'm erasing isn't that much different than the sky that I'm replacing it with. So And this side looks pretty good, actually. There's just a couple of little spots over here where it's a little bit bad. So if you do this too much, you'll see these black borders on the things you're blending, and that doesn't look very good. So anyway, there's just one little nice method you can use for blending your regular edges like that. This also works really well on hair if you're ever trying to blend something and you've got someone's hair around, or you're trying to mask out hair. That's kind of where this tip comes from. Okay, thanks. Bye.